Eubanks, and this is our statistics PowerPoint.
Okay, Susan just introduced us, and this is India, and tonight we're going to tell you about our problem-based final learning project for statistics. And what we did first was to do a literature review, and basically what we found was that prior research said that students who attend school regularly demonstrate higher levels of achievement than students who do not attend regularly. And specifically, there's a correlation between student attendance and their outcomes as far as reading, math, and general knowledge go. The researchers decided that they had seen a problem at their local elementary school, and they noticed a high rate of absenteeism among students within the school population. And so they decided to do some research and try to investigate whether or not there was a relationship between the student attendance and how the students achieved in math and reading. And so we decided to ask a couple of questions, and the first one was, is there a correlation between student attendance and student achievement in math? We also wanted to look at the correlation between student attendance and student achievement in reading to see if there was one. And then we also decided to ask, can student attendance predict student achievement? And so the methods that we used was, first we needed to collect some participants. And so we looked at the third grade and a Title I elementary school here in Muskogee County School District, Columbus, Georgia. And for this particular school, all of the students are on free and reduced lunch, and 98.4% of the student population is African American. And then we use the student information at the school on all third grade students' test scores in reading and math on the CRCT. And what we did was we assigned each one of those test scores for each student a number 1 through 96 in order to form the population. And then we had all of those numbers representing each student in a container. And then we randomly sampled by a third party came and pulled 30 numbers to form the sample population. And so we used descriptive statistics to look at the data, and we wanted to look at the mean, the median, the mode, the range, variance, standard deviation in order to describe the data. And we also used the skewness and the kurtosis. And then here is the chart that describes that information. Both for the charts describe the descriptive statistics for the reading scores, the days missed, and then also for the math scores and the days missed. And now I will turn it over to Susan.
We then took all of that information, the reading scores, the math scores from the CRCT for the targeted audience, the third graders who were randomly selected. We put that data into a histogram and came up with this scatter plot for the reading scores and this scatter plot for the math scores. The conclusion that we came to, the results indicated that according to the data we used, and that was the randomly selected third graders from an elementary school in Muskogee County, the reading test scores from the CRCT, the math test scores from the CRCT, and their attendance. And from this data, there was not enough for a strong positive relationship between achievement and attendance. Within the data that we presented, there was evidence to reject the null hypothesis, which suggested student achievement was affected by attendance. And this data showed a weak negative correlation relationship when examining data pertaining to achievement and to school attendance. Now, the further implications from this research that we did, researchers looked to the sample size of 30 participants, and we realized this was rather small. To use a larger sample size from various schools would probably result in different results. Researchers may also want to give consideration to the impact of other variables, such as socioeconomic status, ethnicity, and gender when considering achievement. Now, the implications for these research findings, it could be useful to encourage parents, educators, and administrators. And for this particular school, researchers may consider collecting continual data to examine any changes and trends at their particular school. And these are the references that we used in order to conduct our literature review for this project. We hope you enjoyed our problem-based learning final project for EDUF 8126, and we hope you have a good night.
Okay, I went over here, and that's going to do us, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did I do wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Look,
I do not
Look, do you
know.
see how slumped down I am? It says, oh, stop the broadcast.